Hello and welcome to yet another episode of OneTake. Tariq pe Tariq, that must have been the dialogue you could have all heard of Sunny Deol from the movie Damini, where a rape victim has to wait endlessly to get justice because the people who were the perpetrators of the crime were very, very rich people. And the more witty, low profile, but a very successful series of movies called Jolly LLB, which again probed into the entire judicial system, where a not so famous lawyer and the kind of rules he had to go through to ensure justice for his not so rich clients. But why am I talking about these movies at this point of time? Because what we saw was nothing less than filmy. The recovery of a huge amount of cash from a sitting judge, Justice Varma. No one even could have believed that there could be so much of cash, much of it which was burned down, and we already know the kind of politics which has broken out over it, the kind of narrative which is being pushed, and how the government is thinking of coming out with perhaps another law which would ensure that even the executive would be there on the board or the panel appointing the judiciary.
One cannot recall an incident where such a grave allegation of actually cash being present in the house of a sitting judge.
The issue of corruption within the judiciary is a very serious issue, and this is not something that has been articulated by senior counsel and lawyers in this country for the first time. It's been going on for years and public statements have been made.
But the question which I'm raising on OneTake this week is a larger question which all our politicians have or tried to or need to address. Have people lost all faith in judiciary? And every time such an incident takes place, is there a reason why we cannot anymore believe our lawyers, the wakils or the judges? There's in any case a point of view and a perception that our lawyers are very rich, they are filthy rich, they have rich clients, they make a lot of money. And if you are a poor person, you will have to wait endlessly in line. You'll either not get a lawyer to defend you, or there's a public prosecutor who may not be all that competent. Or apart from that, Tariq pe Tariq. For example, there are a large number of people who are rotting in jails across the country because they are not being able to get the perfect lawyer or even money to apply for bail. And when you see this kind of a cash coming up, one shudders to think that what the younger people or what is it that the poor or the middle class will be thinking of. Because for them, getting those kind of lawyers' fees to be paid may be unthinkable. But what is more worrying is, and which is going to put pressure on the government, is that how do you convince the people that lawyers and judges can be trusted? Because at the end of the day, the ultimate court of justice is believed to be the judiciary, where everything when it fails, no one is able to open that window for you. You believe that the judiciary can do so. And there are many who have waited for years but finally have got justice. And they repose their faith in the judiciary. But what about the poor man? He will think that all you need is a huge amount of cash. It will start raising question marks in their mind about, is this what the judiciary is all about? Are judges paid? Is it a question of cash for justice? Is that the only way you can get justice? Because you will have to pay a large amount of money to our judges. While the jury is still out on who that money belonged to, was there a money trail, what was the purpose behind it, and we don't want to talk about it yet because there is a probe going on, the investigation is on, and as of now, the judge has been de-rostered. But it certainly raises doubts in the mind of the common man that, look, we knew this all along. Judges take money to provide justice. Lawyers also ask for a hefty fee. If you don't have that kind of money, there's just no way you can get justice. You can keep on going to courts. Justice is going to be bought. The rich are always having an advantage. Every time a celebrity or a rich man's child gets out of jail or a rich man gets out of jail, that poor thief will think that, look, this is how justice has been bought. You have to be powerful, influential, rich. And this is where the worrying sign really comes in for the government. If the government doesn't want a Tariq pe Tariq, And if a government doesn't want people's faith in judiciary to be shaken, it'll have to do much more than hold endless rounds of meeting or rethink the mechanism for selection of judges. And that is why this time round on One Take, I'm not just asking you any one-off question. I'm not just asking you a political question. It's a larger narrative. It's a larger factor which all our politicians need to get together to understand that this incident cannot be taken lightly. It is not about us versus them. It is not about this party versus another political party. It is once again about the common man who cannot endlessly keep waiting for that tariq to come when he or she can get justice, who is worried that a recovery of the cash actually legitimizes what they always believed, that it was always cash for justice. You have money, you can buy it. How do you prove them wrong? It is now up to a government and our politicians to prove the people wrong if they think that all justice in our country has been bought, that merits of the case do not matter. Judges become rich, they have big houses, they lead an affluent lifestyle only because they have been paid to deliver justice. Is this what is going to be uppermost in the mind of our politicians as the Vice President held a meeting with the leader of the House, Mr. J.P. Nadda, as well as the leader of the opposition, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge? Will merely changing the system of appointment of judges change the situation? And how long is it that the people will have to wait for that tariq? And how can you blame the people if they feel that justice can be bought and that all hope is lost? And therefore, I wind up by asking you this simple question on One Take, and please do give in your responses on every social media platform where we are on. Has this incidence of cash recovery at the residence of Justice Varma led to a situation where people have lost their faith in the judiciary? Thank you so much for watching.